Hey there, you're listening to BD4, where there's no better way to get your Yankees and Knicks analysis. Yanks every series, Knicks every game, and MMA on occasion. Here's your host, RJ Carbone.
And a high drive into left center field. Stanley's going to watch another one fly. Are you kidding me? DiVincenzo a three. Bang! Bang! Knicks take a
Take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
at the wall. See ya! See ya! See ya! Mr. November. Anthony for three. Bang! That one goes down and the game is tied.
Rose, you shook up the world again.
I did it again. My God did it, man. I really just had
Gonna have to. Brunson running away. Oh my! He has been the best player to put on that uniform.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
Okay. Episode 826 of the podcast. Welcome to the show. You know, it's been a very quiet last couple of months with the Yankees. And not that I expect anything else to happen. In fact, that's kind of why I'm recording here, is because I think we're getting a good idea of what this roster is going to at least look like out of the gate. And I believe I actually did an episode on this guy a couple of weeks, maybe a month or so ago. Maybe a month or two ago. But I want to talk about him again because, again, things have changed since. And, well, we still don't have a third baseman. Maybe we'll designate an episode to that. But with the Giancarlo Stanton injury, and it seems like he's going to be out for at least a couple of months, and he's aiming for Memorial Day, we'll see. But it seems like that DH spot is still open for the taking. You know, the Yankees have all but told us their rotation is going to consist of Fried, Rodon, Schmidt, Stroman, and Carrasco, unfortunately. They have basically told us that it's going to be Cabrera with a little bit of Peraza sprinkled in, platooning at third base. They have told us that Dominguez is going to be their left fielder. I mean, Cashman had some interesting comments a week ago on that. Didn't seem like it was very certain, but I think Boone has pretty much said he's going to get the opportunity at the very least. And, you know, everywhere else on the diamond, you know, Jazz is going back to second. You know where you are. DH, it still seems like it's going to be a battle between two guys, and maybe they both make the roster. Maybe there are days where one gets reps and other days where the other gets reps. But I want to talk about Ben Rice. And I try not to get too excited when talking about these Yankees first base prospects because not too long ago there was once a man named Gregory Bird, who a lot of Yankees fans, including myself, were over the top excited about and eventually got let down. And Ben Rice hasn't even had the breakout stint that Greg Bird had yet. Ben Rice, like Bird, isn't a big-time, highly ranked prospect in their system. He's not anywhere near the MLB top 100 on the pipeline. But he's a kid who made his name the last couple of years by raking at Somerset and then getting the call to Scranton Wilkes-Barre and raking in AAA. Last season, the noise became so loud, he had like 33 RBIs in 30 games or something like that. Rizzo gets hurt. Ben Rice gets the call later in the season. Starts out red hot. Major league pitchers adjust. He tapers off. He gets sent back down. And so his final numbers at the major league level don't impress at all. He got 50 games in, 178 plate appearances, batted 171, 264 on base, 349 slug, 613 OPS, 72 OPS plus, 73 WRC plus, 7 homers, 6 doubles, 23 RBIs. Now, there are some good things about those numbers, actually. You know, the on-base percentage being separated from the average as much as it is a good thing. The home runs and RBIs, if you want to per 162 that, 23 and 75. But point being, he really struggled. Started hot, had the big 3-homer game against Boston. Ever since then, he cooled off in his final 30 games. Finished with what he finished with. Got sent back down. Didn't really get the full leash. Went into the offseason. Worked on himself. Came into camp noticeably bigger. And that's translated as he's had himself a really good spring training. And more than just the spring training meaningless results have been the fact that he's not only hitting the ball hard, he's hitting the ball harder than he's ever hit it before. So now he's got a legitimate shot to be a regular part of the team. Now, early in camp, before all the injuries started hammering the Yankees, there were some rumblings about Ben Rice being backup catcher. I never liked that idea anyway, having 2 lefties there, but now, with Giancarlo out, there's an opportunity for him to get DH reps, even first base reps on days where Goldie sits or DHs. And hopefully it's a job that Ben Rice primarily gets, because I don't need to hear about Dom Smith, a journeyman who we know what Dom Smith is at this point in his career. I don't care that he's had a good spring. He's already reached his peak. We don't know yet what Ben Rice is, so I feel like Ben Rice should be given an opportunity here to show us what he's got for a little bit of a longer stretch than he got last year. So that's what I want to discuss in this episode. Episode 826. The Yankees have a window for Ben Rice here, and they should keep it open. Let's talk. BD4 is available on social media for those who want to follow. You can find BD4 on Instagram at BD4Pod. You can find us on X at BD4Pod. And you can find us on Facebook by simply searching BD4. Hey guys, just a quick reminder, this podcast is also available in video format on YouTube. So be sure to go over to the YouTube channel, BD4, subscribe, like the videos, comment, and tell me how much I suck or maybe how much you like the video. We'd very much appreciate it. You know, with young players that are just coming into the league, I think the one skill that I look for first is approach. You know, it's one thing to go up there and just take hacks and run into a fastball or run into a mistake and just put up gaudy numbers for a short sample in your rookie year. Right? That's one thing. You can punish mistakes like Gary Sanchez did in his, fun rookie season. It's another thing to go up there and have a plan. To go up there and display good pitch recognition. I look at things like not taking swings outside the zone. Being aggressive inside the zone. And Ben Rice is one who displays that. Ben Rice isn't going to swing at uncompetitive garbage outside the zone. He's going to swing at hittable pitches inside the zone. That's important to me because that shows that you've got upside to be at least a decent on-base player who can walk a lot and a player who's able to do damage and rack up some extra base hits when you do swing. It's one thing to be an Aaron Hicks and to lay off pitches outside the zone. It's another thing to have that skill, but also be able to attack the fastball that you get inside the zone. And so I take that part serious. I take it serious not because he displayed that in his short sample in 2024, but you combine the fact that he showed that discipline when he came up to the Yankees last year with the fact that the scouting reports already have this prior written to about Ben Rice. So Ben Rice went out there and he lived up to his scouting report. That's what I took away from that. It's not just he fluke, he just had some good at-bats that happened to give him that label. No, he's known, like, he's in professional baseball because of that. In terms of his comparison to league average, though, last year in his Yankees stint, he was 5.9% better on zone swings. Meaning he, in English, he swung the bat at pitches inside the zone that much more than your league average hitter. He did not chase 7.9% of the time more than your league average hitter. So he swung outside the zone a lot less than league average, which is good. I don't know if I worded that to make it sound good. His walk rate was 2.8% higher than league average. So you take that, and then you also combine that with the quality of contact. The fact that Ben Rice does hit the ball very hard. The fact that he gets the good part of the bat when he swings. And that's important because for a left-handed swinger, for a left-handed bat in Yankee Stadium, it's going to give you some extra base hit upside. And the metrics on that in his stint with the Yankees last year: 8.6% better than league average barrel rate. So he found the barrel significantly more than your average hitter. 1.5 miles an hour better in terms of exit velo. And 54 points higher in terms of expected slugging. So a great amount better than your league average slugging percentage based on batted ball data, exit velos, launch angles, etc. And you go to Baseball Savant and you just look at some of the comparisons in terms of quality of contact, and his name is compared to those of Pete Alonso, Christian Walker, JD Martinez. Other first baseman DHs that can hit. So then you take into account the fact that not only does he have a good approach, not only does he make quality contact, It's the pull tendencies. What do you want from lefties in Yankee Stadium? You want lefties who can pull the ball in the air. And Ben Rice can pull the ball in the air. His air rate last season, 8.6% higher than league average, meaning he hit the ball in the air a significant amount more than average. His pull rate, 10.5% higher than league average. And when you combine pull rate and air rate, his pulling the ball in the air rate, they have all that shit on there. 1.7% higher than league average. So he pulled the ball in the air a decent amount more than your league average hitter. And again, I'm not just saying this because I'm not just basing it off his 2024 50-game sample. This was all what he was known for. He's a guy who pulls the ball hard. He's always had that. He's always had the plate discipline next to his scouting report, on his scouting report. He passes the eye test too, man. I like the kid's mechanics. Like, I like his swing. It's a smooth left-handed swing. He doesn't have the craziest, quickest bat speed, but he's got quick hands. The launch angle is good. He's got that loft on his swing. I think he can be, at the very least, somebody who can platoon. Because this kid is known for mashing right-handed pitching, which is extremely important for left-handed bats. If you're able to hit righties who dominate the league, that's 80% of the job. You go all the way back to his first minor league stint in 2021 with the Tampa Tarpons. 774 OPS against right-handed pitching. 2022 with Tampa, a 912 OPS against right-handed pitching. 2023 with Tampa, with Hudson Valley, Tampa, and Somerset, 1160 OPS against right-handed pitching. And in 2024 against with Somerset, with Grant Wilkes-Barre, and also combined with the Yankees, he had an 865 OPS against right-handed pitching. So the OPS continued to increase against right-handed pitching. It continues to increase year by year, as well as the volume. The plate appearances kept going up from 66 to 416. He can mash righties. Now, the problem with Ben Rice is a problem with a lot of Yankee hitters. He's very ineffective against left-handed pitching, and he struggled his entire career against left-handed pitching. 2021, 417 OPS. 2022, 560 OPS. 2023, 645 OPS. Last season, a 784 OPS across 118 plate appearances. Again, positive takeaway from that is the volume keeps increasing, and so does the OPS. So you want to look at last year as a positive takeaway, 784 OPS against lefties on 118 plate appearances. Hopefully that's something to take a look at. But overall, he does need to show more consistency and pick up the ball better against lefty pitching. Some of the other stuff, is more rookie shit, like he can hit a fastball, struggles against off-speed and breaking. But even against the pitches that he didn't perform well on, sliders, curveballs, sinkers, like he mostly slugged against four-seamers and cutters. Every other pitch, the results weren't good. But even the pitches that the results weren't good on, he had good expected numbers. So it's all peripheral stuff. I get that. But at the end of the day, when you take all those skills that Rice thrives in, hitting the ball hard, not chasing outside the zone, being aggressive inside the zone, pulling the ball in the air, the good mechanics in his swing, the fact that he can rake against righty pitching, you take all that, you combine it, and I think it says that he at least deserves a second shot to see if he's a major league player here. I'm not saying Ben Rice is going to be your first baseman of the future because at this point he's 26 years old. I get it. He's old. But can he be a platoon bat? Goldschmidt's older. He's going to need a day here and there. He's not as consistent as he once was. He had a below league average offensive season last year. Could very well get worse. Again, Stanton's on the shelf. Do we really need to give Dom Smith that job, or can we actually give it to a young player who should be getting the opportunity? I'm tired of age. I'm tired of veterans. We need to get younger. I know we've got some youth in the lineup already. I would rather live and die with Ben Rice than live and die with Dom Smith because he hit for a couple of weeks in spring training. I'm not basing the optimism here surrounding Ben Rice on spring training. I'm basing it off of his baseball skills, of the fundamentals of the game, which happened to line up with the analytics from last year. But I'm literally just speaking on what I see when I watch him and what I've been reading about in the scouting reports. I'm not just looking on Baseball Savant, reading off StatCast. I went to double check on StatCast, and what do you know? It lines up with what the eye test says. So that to me says that, you know what? Maybe Ben Rice can at least be effective against right-handed pitching this year. Give him more than 50 games. Give him a season to show you what he's got. And if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. But I like the kid. I like the way he carries himself. He's already kind of beloved by the fans. You know, he's got a marketable name. People like him. So I like to see Ben Rice get a shot at DH. I'm not predicting a breakout year, anything like that. But again, for the whatever time, I'm just asking the Yankees to give the kid a legitimate shot, give him full run, let him get reps. And let him get reps against lefty pitching too here and there. I think running from that is a bad idea, especially since he's shown improvements in that area. So we'll see. But that's it. That's as much as we'll go in this episode. Just wanted to touch on Ben Rice for a few minutes. Appreciate you all tuning in. Episode 826 in the books. We will have some more Yankee stuff out. Hopefully 1 or 2 more episodes before the regular season ramps up in about 10 days. So stay tuned for that. Appreciate you all tuning in, though, for this episode. Episode 826 is in the books. The Yanks have a window here for Ben Rice. Well, if you made it this far, that means you listened to or watched the entire episode. Thank you. Just remember to follow, subscribe, download, rate and review, and all that fun stuff to help out the podcast. And I will see you in the next episode of BD4.